哇，来嘛，抱嘛。
马上。
放鸡蛋糕了，扔到特斯拉门里头，我看了，
La mordí. Se quiere comerla.
Hi, Mimi. Watch, her ears go like really far back whenever I do like the heavy metal sound.
Удивляется на зиму.
Марфушечка моя, душа.
Neredeymiş fındık?
Le avientan arenita. Aquí nadie descansa tranquilo.
Proszę wybaczyć, nie jestem odpowiednio ubrany w Szkocie. Sir Clifford pyta, czy nowe bażanty się niosą. Tak.
I know! You didn't just do that!
O co mówi? Coś tu mieć tu? Ha? A myć te Aldolsku.
Oh, that's a good kitty, I say as I pet on Kitty.
No, I'm evil, kitty.
Said evil Kitty.
Dear my beloved audiences, today I want to tell you a story which is called The Last Light of Lyra. In the year 2347, Earth had long been abandoned. War, pollution, and years of neglect had turned the once blue planet into a lifeless husk. Humanity had scattered across the stars, settling distant planets in a desperate attempt to start over. One of those places was Lyra 9, a small, frigid world lit by a dying sun. On Lyra 9, nestled among crystalline cliffs and frost-covered valleys, live a boy named Kale and his dog, Rocco, a genetically enhanced shepherd mix with a silvery coat and amber eyes that glowed faintly in the dark. Kale and Rocco weren't just boy and dog. They were survivors. Kale had lost his parents during a mining accident 2 years ago. Since then, he and Rocco had lived alone in a shelter dome, scraping by on rations and salvage. In a world where the days were short and the nights were colder than death, Rocco was Kale's warmth, his only family. One evening, as a storm rolled in from the east, Kale picked up a strange signal on the old comms tower. Static mostly, but buried in it was a voice, a young girl calling for help. The signal was faint, but it repeated every 6 minutes. It was coming from the dead zone, a vast expanse of ice fields where machines went to die and no one ever returned. "She's out there," Kale whispered, eyes locked on the blinking coordinates. "And she's alone." Rocco let out a low growl, almost as if warning him. But Kale knelt beside him and placed a hand on his head. "I was alone once too." The next morning, they left at first light. Kale packed what little gear they had: thermal cloaks, a short-range scanner, and a few energy cells. Rocco carried a harness with supplies. As they crossed the boundary into the dead zone, silence fell like a weight. Even the wind seemed afraid to howl here. Hours passed, then a day. The cold was brutal. Kale's hands ached, and their scanner kept flickering. Rocco walked close, his warmth keeping Kale from freezing. They slept huddled beneath a collapsed satellite dish the first night, wrapped in silence and starlight. On the second day, they found a wreckage of a colony pod, burned and half buried in snow. Inside, frozen and long gone, were 2 adults. Kale looked away. Rocco sniffed the air, then barked once, sharp and urgent. Beneath the debris, a faint beeping. They dug with frozen hands until they uncovered a small stasis pod. Inside was a girl, maybe 8 years old, her breath fogging up the glass from the inside. Her nameplate read Mira Elin. Kale wiped tears from his eyes. "She's alive." The power core was nearly drained. If they didn't get her back to the shelter within a day, she'd die. "Go," Kale urged Rocco. "Take the data core. Bring it back. I'll carry her." Rocco hesitated, growled low, but then bolted into the snowstorm like a silver streak. Kale carried Mira through the howling cold, her stasis pod heavy on his back. His limbs grew numb, his vision blurred. Still, he trudged forward, thinking of the last thing his mother had said to him. No matter how dark it gets, there's always someone worth holding on to. He didn't stop, not until his legs gave out. When Kale awoke, he was warm. Light filtered through a dome ceiling. The air smelled like home. Mira was beside him, breathing steadily in a medical cradle. And there, curled up at the foot of the bed, lay Rocco, his coat singed, a leg limping, but his eyes still glowing with that same fire. Rocco had made it back. He delivered the data core, activating the emergency beacon Kale had hidden away in a shelter. A rescue team had found them just in time. Weeks passed. Mira recovered. She barely remembered the crash, but she clung to Kale like a brother. And Rocco? He followed them both everywhere, a guardian of hope with 4 legs and a heart big enough for 2 lost children. The sun over Lyra 9 continued to fade, but within their small dome, laughter returned. A family stitched together not by blood, but by survival, love, and something stronger, hope. Because in the coldest corners of the galaxy, sometimes the warmest light is the bond between a boy and his dog. The story of the last light of Lyra may be set in a distant, frozen world, but its heart speaks to challenges we face in real life: loss, loneliness, and the need for connection. Just like Kale and Rocco, Many people today find themselves navigating harsh environments, whether emotional, social, or economic. The world can feel cold and isolating, especially when dealing with grief, hardship, or uncertainty. Yet the story reminds us that even in our darkest moments, hope and love can guide us forward. Kale didn't survive just because he was strong. He survived because he chose not to give up on others, and because he had someone, Rocco, who believed in him. The real-world lesson is clear. Don't underestimate the power of loyalty, compassion, and companionship, whether from people or pets. When we act out of care for others, we often discover strength within ourselves. In modern life, building genuine relationships, offering help, and staying hopeful in adversity are not signs of weakness. They are tools for survival. No one has to face everything alone. In helping others like Kale did for Mira, we often heal ourselves. Hold on to hope, and hold on to each other. That's how light survives. If you like this video, please leave a like and a subscribe. It will really help our channel grow. But if you don't like it, then just skip it, and don't forget to check out our other videos. Thank you very much and goodbye.